Now, the interesting thing about science is that sometimes the simplest questions lead to the deepest puzzles. Why should light have one special speed? Why doesn't it behave like everything else we know, like a car that can go faster if you press the accelerator harder? You might think that if you chased a beam of light fast enough, maybe you could catch up to it, or at least see it moving a little slower. But nature doesn't allow that. No matter how fast you move, light always rushes ahead of you at the same speed. This strange rule puzzled scientists for centuries, until the great revolution of modern physics revealed something astonishing. The speed of light is not just a property of light. It is woven into the very structure of space and time themselves. In other words, the universe has a built-in speed limit, and that limit shapes everything, from the behavior of atoms to the motion of galaxies. And that's the wonderful thing about physics. When you begin by asking a simple question, how fast does light travel? You end up uncovering a completely new way of thinking about reality. Today, we're going to explore how Richard Feynman explained this remarkable idea, why the speed of light is so special, what it tells us about the universe, and how something so simple can completely change the way we understand space, time, and the nature of the world around us. When we talk about speed in everyday life, we usually think of it as something flexible. A bicycle moves slower than a car moves slower than an airplane. And if we build a better engine or use more fuel, we expect things to go faster. Speed seems like something you can always increase if you push hard enough. But nature, interestingly enough, has placed a very strict rule on how fast anything in the universe can move. That rule is tied to the speed of light. Light travels at about 3 kilometers every second. To give you a sense of that speed, light can circle the Earth more than 7 times in a single second. It can travel from the Earth to the Moon in just over 1 second. From the Sun to the Earth, it takes only about 8 minutes. This number, enormous as it is, turns out to be more than just the speed of a bright beam from a flashlight or a star. It represents a fundamental limit in the universe. The surprising thing is that this limit doesn't depend on how fast you are moving. If you stand still and measure the speed of light, you get the same number every time. If you move toward the light source, you still measure the same speed. Even if you move away from it at tremendous speed, the result remains unchanged. Nature seems to insist that everyone, no matter how they move, measures the exact same speed for light. At first glance, this idea feels strange because it doesn't match our everyday experience. If you throw a ball from a moving train, someone standing on the ground sees the ball moving faster than someone sitting inside the train. Speeds normally add together. But light refuses to behave that way. Instead of adding speeds, the universe adjusts something else entirely. What changes are space and time themselves. When objects move at extremely high speeds, close to the speed of light, time begins to slow down and distances begin to shrink in the direction of motion. These effects are not tricks of measurement or illusions created by our instruments. They are real consequences of the universe protecting the speed of light as a constant. You can imagine trying to accelerate a spacecraft closer and closer to that limit. At first, the ship gains speed in a familiar way, just like a car accelerating on a highway. But as it approaches the speed of light, something remarkable happens. It becomes harder and harder to increase its speed. No matter how much energy you pour into the engines, the spacecraft never quite reaches that ultimate limit. The reason is deeply connected to the nature of energy and motion. As an object moves faster, its energy increases dramatically. Approaching the speed of light would require more and more energy, and reaching it would demand an infinite amount. Since infinite energy is impossible, the speed of light remains forever out of reach for any object that has mass. What makes this idea even more interesting is that the speed of light is not simply about light itself. It is really the maximum speed at which information, influence, or cause and effect can travel through the universe. If something happens in one place, the effect of that event cannot instantly appear somewhere else. The fastest that influence can move is limited by the speed of light. This universal speed limit shapes the entire structure of physics. It determines how particles interact, how signals travel, and even how we understand the relationship between past, present, and future. Events that happen far away cannot affect us immediately because the information about those events must travel across space, and that travel takes time. When we look up at distant stars, we are actually seeing them as they were years, centuries, or even millions of years ago, because their light has taken that long to reach us. The speed of light quietly controls the flow of information across the cosmos, acting like a fundamental rule written into the fabric of reality itself. At first glance, space and time seem like simple, separate things. Space is where events happen, and time is what clocks measure as those events unfold. In everyday life, we treat them as independent. A meter is a meter whether you are standing still or moving, and a second ticks the same way for everyone. That assumption feels natural because at ordinary speeds, the differences are so small that we never notice them. But when we start thinking about the constant speed of light, that comfortable picture begins to fall apart. The strange rule that everyone measures the same speed of light forces nature to adjust something else. If speeds behave the way we expect, then observers moving at different velocities would measure different speeds for the same beam of light. But experiments show again and again that the speed of light is always the same. The universe somehow preserves that number no matter what. To make that possible, space and time must change depending on how you move. One of the first surprising effects is called time dilation. Imagine a clock placed inside a spaceship moving extremely fast, close to the speed of light. To someone inside the ship, the clock ticks normally. Each second passes exactly as it always has. But an observer watching the ship from far away would notice something unusual. The clock on the moving spaceship would appear to tick more slowly than their own clock. This is not because the clock is broken or because the observer is seeing it incorrectly. The slowing of time is a genuine physical effect. Motion changes the rate at which time passes. As the speed increases, the difference becomes larger and larger. At everyday speeds, the change is far too small to notice, but as objects approach the speed of light, time for them stretches dramatically. Space is affected as well. If you measure the length of an object moving very fast relative to you, you will find that its length in the direction of motion becomes shorter. This effect is called length contraction. To the people traveling with the object, nothing unusual happens. They measure the same length they always have. But observers who see the object rushing past at enormous speed will measure a smaller distance. These two effects, time slowing down and length shrinking, work together to keep the speed of light constant for everyone. When one observer sees time passing differently and distances changing, the measurements adjust in such a way that the calculated speed of light always comes out the same. The universe quietly reshapes space and time so that its fundamental rule remains intact. The realization that space and time are flexible leads to a deeper idea. Instead of thinking of them as two separate things, physicists began to understand them as parts of a single structure called space-time. Every event in the universe happens at a particular location in space and at a particular moment in time, and those two descriptions cannot really be separated once high speeds are involved. In spacetime, different observers moving relative to each other may disagree about distances and about how much time has passed between events. Yet the laws of physics remain consistent for all of them. The speed of light acts like a universal anchor, ensuring that despite these differences, the fundamental structure of reality stays the same. This new understanding dramatically changed the way scientists think about motion, measurement, and the nature of the universe. Instead of imagining space as a rigid stage and time as a universal ticking clock, we now see them as dynamic quantities that depend on the motion of the observer. The faster something moves, the more dramatically space and time adjust themselves. What once seemed absolute, distance and duration turns out to be relative, linked together by the constant speed of light, like them revealing that the universe is far stranger and far more elegant than our everyday intuition suggests. When physicists began to understand that the speed of light is a universal constant, they realized that it was pointing towards something deeper than just the behavior of light itself. It was revealing something fundamental about the way the laws of nature are organized. The speed of light is not simply a number that describes how fast a beam travels through space. It is a key that unlocks the structure of the physical world. One of the most remarkable things about the laws of physics is that they appear to be the same everywhere. Whether you perform an experiment in a laboratory on Earth, inside a moving train, or in a spacecraft drifting through deep space, the basic rules remain unchanged. This idea is called the principle of relativity. It tells us that no special frame of reference exists where the laws of physics suddenly become different or simpler. The speed of light plays a central role in maintaining this principle. Because every observer measures the same speed for light, the laws of electromagnetism and the behavior of light remain consistent no matter how someone is moving. The universe seems to be built in such a way that its rules do not depend on the motion of the observer. This leads to another fascinating insight about cause and effect. In everyday thinking, it seems obvious that a cause must happen before its effect. If you flip a switch, the light turns on afterward. But when signals travel across large distances in space, the timing of events becomes more subtle. The speed of light limits how quickly information can move from one place to another, ensuring that effects cannot occur before their causes. Imagine an event happening on a distant star. The light from that event must travel through space before it can reach us. That journey may take years, centuries, or even millions of years, depending on the distance. Until that light arrives, we have no way of knowing the event has occurred. The speed of light creates a natural delay between the moment something happens and the moment its influence can reach another place. Because of this limit, the universe preserves a consistent order of events. Signals cannot travel faster than light, so information about an event cannot spread instantly across space. This rule protects the logical structure of physics, preventing contradictions where an effect might appear before its cause. The speed of light also reveals an unexpected relationship between energy and mass. One of the most famous results in physics is the equation introduced by Albert Einstein. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. This simple expression shows that mass itself is a form of energy. Matter can be converted into energy, and energy can create matter under the right conditions. What makes this relationship so powerful is the enormous size of the speed of light squared. Even a tiny amount of mass contains an extraordinary amount of energy. This principle explains how stars produce their immense power. Inside the core of a star, small amounts of mass are transformed into vast quantities of energy through nuclear reactions. The same idea underlies technologies such as nuclear power, where a small fraction of mass is converted into energy during nuclear reactions. The enormous energy released in these processes comes directly from the relationship between mass, energy, and the speed of light. Beyond these practical consequences, the speed of light tells us something philosophical about the universe. It acts as a fundamental constant that appears in many different areas of physics, from electromagnetism to relativity and even quantum theories. Whenever scientists explore deeper layers of nature, this same number continues to appear, linking different phenomena together. In that sense, the speed of light is like a thread woven through the fabric of reality. It connects motion, energy, space, time, and information into a single coherent framework, even that the universe follows precise rules that are both simple in form and astonishing in their consequences. When we begin to think about the speed of light, it is tempting to imagine it as simply the fastest thing we know. But the deeper idea is that it represents the ultimate speed at which anything in the universe can travel. Nothing with mass can reach it, and nothing can exceed it. This is not merely a technical limitation caused by our current technology. It is a rule embedded in the fundamental structure of nature. To understand why this matters, consider how motion normally works in everyday life. If you want something to move faster, you apply more force or use more energy. A stronger engine makes a car go faster. A more powerful rocket pushes a spacecraft to greater speeds. The relationship seems straightforward. More energy leads to more speed. But as objects approach the speed of light, this relationship begins to change in a dramatic way. As an object moves faster and faster, its energy increases, but instead of translating directly into more speed, that extra energy begins to affect the object's inertia. In simple terms, the object becomes harder and harder to accelerate. Each additional push produces a smaller increase in speed. The closer the object gets to the speed of light, the more extreme this effect becomes. Imagine trying to push a spacecraft faster and faster through space. At first, the spacecraft accelerates normally, just as we would expect. But as its speed approaches the cosmic limit, something remarkable happens. The engines continue to pour energy into the system, yet the speed increases less and less with each burst of energy. It is almost as if the universe is resisting the attempt to reach that final boundary. Mathematically, the energy required to reach the speed of light grows without limit. To actually reach that speed would require an infinite amount of energy, something that is impossible in any physical system, because infinite energy cannot exist in practice. Objects with mass can only approach the speed of light, but never truly arrive there. This idea explains why particles in powerful accelerators can move incredibly close to the speed of light, but never exceed it. Physicists build enormous machines designed to accelerate tiny particles to tremendous speeds. These particles can reach more than 99% of the speed of light. But no matter how much additional energy is added, the final fraction of speed remains unattainable. Interestingly, light itself has no mass. Photons, the particles that make up light, are able to travel at the universal speed limit precisely because they do not carry rest mass. They are not being accelerated up to that speed in the usual sense. Instead, they naturally exist at that speed as part of their fundamental nature. This difference between particles with mass and particles without mass is one of the key insights of modern physics. Matter cannot reach the speed of light, while massless particles must travel at that speed. The universe separates these two categories in a very precise way. The speed of light therefore acts like a boundary in the universe, dividing what is physically possible from what is not. Within that boundary, objects can move, interact, and exchange energy. But the boundary itself cannot be crossed by any self-speed limit. Also shapes the way the universe evolves. Signals, forces, and interactions cannot spread faster than light, so the influence of events expands outward at a limited rate. Galaxies interact across vast distances, but even their gravitational effects travel no faster than this cosmic speed limit. When we step back and look at the bigger picture, the speed of light becomes more than just a measurement of motion. It becomes a defining feature of the universe, a constant that sets the scale for how fast change can occur and how quickly information can move through space. The structure of reality itself respects this boundary, shaping the behavior of matter, energy, and the vast cosmic systems that fill the universe as we explore ideas like the speed of light. We begin to see that the universe is far more mysterious and fascinating than it first appears. What seems like a simple question, how fast can something travel, opens the door to deep insights about space, time, energy, and the very structure of reality. Richard Feynman had a special way of explaining these ideas, showing that curiosity and simple questions often led to the greatest discoveries in science. The speed of light is not just a number in physics. It is a window into how the universe works and why its laws are so beautifully consistent. When we start asking questions about nature, we begin a journey of understanding that never really ends.